Alright, this is what I do to mask my greeblies before I'm stripping the paint off the Saber. It basically just helps protect them from acetone because they're plastic. But basically, I'm putting masking tape around them like this. And once I press it down, then I'm cutting it with my X-Acto. And then presto, the greeblies protected. You know, I mean, you can take all these out if you want, but I didn't on my last one. And the acetone didn't affect them at all when I masked them like this. So, I mean, the acetone's so brief, which I'll film a little bit of that. So this will probably be video 1, you know, and I wish I'd have videoed taking it apart, but I didn't. But probably change this to video 1. And basically what I'll try to do is videotape some of the steps that you didn't see before. But as you can see, you know, this is what the acetone does to the parts. So there's the side emitters. You know, you can see that the paint's gone. So once the paint's gone, I prime them and then, you know, repaint them and re-weather the hilt. And then I actually use the actual aluminum of the hilt to, you know, polish off some of the paint so it looks worn, looks damaged. But before I paint and prime, I'm going to do all my machining. So I'm going to be drilling my set screws for my LED modules and the side hilts. I'm going to probably drill my set screws, which I wanted to show you this. This cover here, I drill set screws here and here. And you just have to remember that plate that goes over this has nubs that go down in these holes. You just have to remember to cut those nubs off, you know, because you're going to have, instead of a hole here, you're going to have a set screw here and a set screw here, so those nubs won't fit down in there. So you have to make sure you take off that plate and make sure that you cut off those nubs here and here. But this is where my set screws go that hold the custom Saber shop conversion kit in, that goes in there. That was recommended by Shameen. But at any rate, I'm going to do all the machining before I paint, but right now I'm just, you know, stripping the paint off everything, and then I'll do the machining that needs to be done, and then we'll go to paint. And hopefully, while these are drying, then I can start working on wiring up some of the LEDs and stuff. Okay, so here's something I didn't show before. So this is my Saber body, the main body component, and you know, you can see the crappy paint on it. And what I'm getting ready to do is use acetone, which, you know, this is a pretty well ventilated area I'm working in, but I've worked around acetone a lot. Should wear protective gloves and stuff. Acetone's nasty, as you can see. Takes paint right off, minimal effort, comes off quick. But you can see why, you know, working around these greeblies isn't that tough, because this paint, you know, really comes right off relatively easily. So every now and then I gotta switch to a clean spot on the rag because it starts becoming coagulated with paint. But there you go, off it comes. Sayonara crappy paint. So, you know, the acetone makes quick work of it. And I'll try to get, you know, this as clean as possible. Including in those grooves and everything. But there's a bulk of the paint, you know, off the main Saber body. So now I'm going to start working on the grooves. telling you, if I ever get into custom saber building, this will not be part of it. You'll have to finish your own saber. So there's one saber completely stripped. You know, I'll wipe it down with a paper towel, and basically we're ready. Those side emitters keep falling off because I haven't put set screws on them yet. So basically the pins that used to hold these side emitters on, I'm going to be tapping those on each side for 832 and then putting in set screws. And those set screws will go all the way down, and also they grab the LED modules once you also have to sand down around inside of these side modules so that the LED modules fit. So I'm fixing to do that bit of machining, drilling those set screws, sanding down the side emitters, and drilling the set screws for the custom Saber shop Kylo Ren adapter plate that's going there. So I'm going to drill and tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 set screws right now. 1 for the saber blade, and then the rest for, you have 2 on each side emitter, so there's 4, 5 for the saber blade, and then the 2 here that hold in the custom Saber shop conversion kit. That's what's happening next. But we have one lightsaber. So we've talked about tapping before, and remember, we drill a hole with our drill bit, which, tapping holes, you'd be better off using a drill press, but when you're building at home, you do what you can. And once you drill the hole, then you send this tap into the hole, and the tap basically threads your screws. But the problem is, on these holes on the side emitter where the old pin went down through, there's no way to get your tap in there. It's too cramped. So what you have to do is take your tap bit out of your tap set, and then you have to use small pliers to turn the tap down into the hole, using the flat part of the nubs to send it into the hole like this. And it's a huge pain. So Jake Sloan talked about this, and you see it for like a second in his video, but that second in his video was like an eternity nightmare that he didn't show. But basically uses small set of pliers, and those nubs on the side where the screws go in just all kind of get in the way of these set screws being tapped. But just work slow, tap in, screw out, in, out, in, and you'll get these holes tapped. Like you can see I've already tapped that one, and the set screws in there, but it's just it's a pain in the rear because it's just so close to the saber body. But those are the hardest holes to tap on the whole thing, and it's just a pain in the butt, but it can be done. Next problem we're going to tackle are the side emitters, the LED modules, the 1-inch custom Saber shop LED modules. They don't fit in these holes because it's too narrow, so we have to use a Dremel and a sanding disc to widen these holes. That's what I'm going to do right now. I didn't show this before. And then we'll check. No. So you keep grinding until they fit. You don't want to take off too much metal because you want these emitters to fit in there, you know, fairly snug, because then the side emitter body actually acts, you know, as part of the heat sink system for the LEDs. But anyway, you get the picture. You just Alright, so here's the LED module. Bada bing. Now it fits in the side emitter. So now we got one LED module that works. Now this one doesn't. Of course, this stuff gets really hot when you're doing this. But at any rate. Hey, also another tip is, once I tap my screws, I also label, like when I label it so when you're facing the main switch that used to be the main switch, I label my side emitters at the bottom of the shroud, and I got that one labeled left in a subdued manner. But at any rate, they are labeled. Alright, so now we get this other one sanded. Boring. This is my broomstick handle painting method. That's what it looks like. That way you can turn the Saber like this and paint it. You don't have to paint one side at a time. And I'm getting ready to put the primer on, and I'm sure you all know what that looks like. So this is the Saber 2.